Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Back with this Thursday guest, Dana. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks, Michael.
One of the things I think we should talk about, because again, we are talking about HIM It is an application. It is an application that involves money, personal information. Is we should just do the right thing and highlight these security features that HIM leverages, authentication and things of that nature, so people can know that the system is there and will protect them and make what is supposed to be secure secure.
Yep. We actually get this question a lot, and it's also from tenants, and we love when we get that question of how secure is your system, because you want someone who is thoughtful about where they're entering their credit card information, or in our case, it's 97% of the time bank accounts, and just making sure that you have a good process set up. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen and show you a couple of things.
Okay.
And this is just important across any system or applications that you use. First of all, we encrypt everything in the system. So under banks and cards here, you'll see I can't see this Visa information. If I click edit, I still can only edit the expiration date on it. And same with the bank account, I can just edit my nickname. So if it's this LLC, East Point LLC, I have that in there. But I can't see anything. And if you, Michael, go to a HemLane engineer and put a gun to their head and say, give me the routing and account numbers for any bank, you can't.
Yeah, it's just not there.
You can't see it. Like, they can't get it. You can shoot them otherwise, because they can't give that information to you. And the reason I bring this up is sometimes landlords will give the routing and account number to tenants and say, do direct deposit, and then you get partial payments and all sorts of things. But really, from the system perspective, everything should be encrypted. There's no reason it shouldn't. And it's the same with pulling background and credit checks. Sometimes we get questions when you go to prospective tenants and you request tenant screening from there. Sometimes we get, because you can go in and add an invite an applicant and request a background and credit check. Sometimes we get questions of like, well, can I run the background and credit check? And no, then you get their social security number. And, there's cases to put that in the lease, but when someone's just applying and they haven't signed a lease with you, they don't want you to have their social security number.
Right.
And so it's better for the tenant to go through the system, put it in, it's encrypted, and there's just tokens in there. No one can see that information. And then the other thing I would say on the security side that we do is a couple of things. So if I go to settings up here, we have two-step authentication here.
Oh, there you go.
Go to security, press save. And essentially when you log in, it's going to send a text message to your phone to let you know, here, go ahead and type in this code. That way they know it's you. And here's one thing that we've seen happen, and this saves them so much. I'll tell you one more thing. And no matter what system you're using, you should ask their teams like what security they have in place. But here's an example. Your HemLane account doesn't get hacked at all. Let's just say your HemLane account doesn't, but your Gmail does, which people have had. If you have any system, doesn't matter if it's HemLane or anything, they can see, oh, HemLane processes payments for them. Great, let me go to HemLane with this email address and let me reset password. Let me get the password from the Gmail. And then go log in. Let me change the password and let me add a bank account. There's a couple of things that we do to protect you. First, you have this two-step authentication, which would stop them, because no matter where they are in the world, they don't have your phone.
Right.
So this would stop them. The second thing is whenever someone adds a bank account here and clicks add account, we actually send you a text message to your phone that says you've just added a bank account.
Right.
And we've had people come back and say, wow, that saved me, because I knew my Gmail had gotten hacked into, or whatever account. I had no idea that they also could get into my HemLane. I just thought that, let me delete it, remove it, and the payments never get processed, because bank to bank takes 2 to 3 business days. Right. By the time they've added that bank account, we've come in and canceled it. So I think it's really important when you go through, especially when you're, processing payments, and we're talking about $4,500, et cetera. It's really important to set up those processes. And you'll see the same thing on the tenant side. So two-step authentication.
Nice.
You'll see also the same thing when they add a bank account, sending them a text message, all these types of things to make them feel good about, okay, I'm using a system where I'm alerted when something has changed financially that could potentially cause a risk. And then you don't know this, but we're tracking everyone's IP addresses. So if we see something's changed and you're in a different location, you might get from our security team, hey, can you just confirm what you logged in from this?
Are you in Russia?
Exactly. So we'll do a lot of that stuff on the back end that you're not seeing.
Right.
And it's to protect you and protect your bank account.
That's awesome.
Just to make sure. So anyways, I bring it up because I think, with Facebook and what happened with the system being down and security and people questioning systems and processes, it really is important to make sure you have something like that set up.
Yeah, I think this is great, right? The two-step authentication is awesome. The encryption of all the data, the tokens in the back end. And then, the added security features of saying, hey, we saw you logged in from California and then Russia in within the same 30 minutes, right? That doesn't pass the Superman test, right, if you will. So all these layers of security with social security numbers, credit cards, banking numbers is critical. And the fact that you do it for both tenants and landlords is awesome. So nice job.
Thanks. Yeah, you got to do it these days. Cybersecurity, I think it's one of those things where no one wants to be told they lost, $20,000 overnight.
Yeah.
So definitely want to make sure whatever systems you're using have this stuff in place.
Folks, again, you have the ability to leverage a 30-day trial that Dana from Hemlane is giving us, hemlane.com. Give it a shot. If you take the free course, you can go get the 30-day PDF. If you're taking the paid course, there's actually a video series. Do yourself a favor, play with these numbers, put them in, see what's happening. I think that's just a great way to build trust in the system. Any closing thoughts?
I think that's it. If you're thinking about actually going into tech, I think cybersecurity is a very hot topic. So, or if your kids are looking to go into something, encourage them to
push them that way. Absolutely. And folks, don't forget to let Hemlane know you came from one rental at a time. Let Dana know that her time is valuable and she's actually going to give you a discount. So saving money is not a bad thing. Thank you very much, Dana.
Thanks, Michael.
You got it.